All right, so we're back again today working on the old trailer. Last video I made, I showed putting the ramps on the trailer and how I made all this. Today I kind of want to show you the measurements of what I used, how wide my trailer is, how I put it together. But they turned out real good and they're sturdy. They ain't going nowhere. They're strong, they're good and strong. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to keep them up, because they're not going to stay like that on their own. They're going to have something that's going to support them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bar on the side, and it'll actually hold that ramp right there. Now I jumped ahead of the game a little bit, and I went ahead and done the other side, and I'll show you that. So this is good and sturdy, it's not going anywhere. Maybe a little noisy, but that's it. Let me show you the pins and all that I used. So I got these pins, and I think the threads on this one is like a ½ inch. But I'll drill a hole in the ramp and drill a hole in the trailer and slide this in there and tighten it down. I got a pin that goes through it to keep it from coming loose. So I got a pin that goes in the ramp and a pin that goes in the trailer. But they'd be more than enough to hold it. But that's a ½ inch, like I said already. You put this pin in there and that'll hold it. Hold the rod from coming loose. And I guess let's go ahead and get to it and get it put on there. I'll show you how I'm going to do it, and then if you like it, you can do the same on yours. Now, I don't have extra hand to kind of help me hold this, and the only way I can think of to hold it is to use a bar and put behind it and hold this up to where it's level with the other side, so they don't look like they're off. They'll look even. And I'll just take this bar and put it here. You can use a board or whatever, but it seems to work pretty good. Now I gotta allow a little bit so when I drill the hole that it'll fall right. I think it looks about right. See what y'all think. So now I'm gonna get me a clamp, old C-clamp, and another clamp. And I'm gonna figure out where I want this bar on here. Now I already done the other side, so I'm just gonna duplicate the measurements on that. So the first side, you'll just eyeball it and get it to where you think it looks pretty good, where it looks right. And then you just duplicate that on this side. It makes it kind of easy. It ain't no brain surgeon kind of thing, but. Okay. Now I'm gonna measure this side. And I don't really matter what you measure from, as long as these are in the same spot. I guess I can go from here to here, or I can go from the light to here. I think I'll just go from the light to the middle of it. Let's just do 7 inches. So it's 7 inches from this light to the middle of that pin, 7 inches. And then I'm just going to come up from the bottom. Two and a quarter. So I got to come from here to here, 7 inches, and 2 and a quarter from the bottom up. So what I'll do is I'll go over there and I'll make me 2 marks and duplicate that. Let me do this one first, and then we'll do this one. Okay. So I said 7 inches from the light bar. Seven inches. And then I need to come up 2 and a quarter. All right, so my hole will be there. Now let me go over and measure the ramp. Okay, so I'm gonna measure the bottom of the ramp to the center of the pin. And I got 22 and a quarter. Okay, 22 and a quarter that way. And 1.5 inches. Okay. $22 and a quarter. And 1.5 inches. Now let me put the bar on there and see how close we are. Now this is a little different from the other side, but this trailer has been a little bit in the back, and you can't tell it. But the whole thing kind of comes down about that much overall bent on this side. I ain't worried about it. It ain't gonna hurt the functions of the trailer any. But that's why I done that other side first. Because I knew it was going to be different. But that's fine. That don't bother me a bit. Like I said, it ain't hurt the function of the trailer any. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and drill these holes. And we use a small bit, and then a next size bit, and then a big bit. I'm gonna make mud flaps for this thing too. With the tires that's on it, I can just see them things picking up rocks. And the last thing I want to do is mess up somebody's new car or knock a window out or you never know, it could hit somebody or worse. So I'm going to put this mud flap. Show you this. This is old dump truck mud flap, and I'm going to cut this off right here, and I'm going to cut sections out of it. I'm going to come here and cut it again, and I'm going to cut 2 sections out of it, and I'm going to mount them behind the wheels. But that'll be on another video. Mainly what I want to do today is get these mounted on here and finish up these ramps. And then I want to take some measurements of what I done here, because I didn't show you that on the last video, and I got to thinking about it, and I thought somebody might want to know the measurements. So that's what I'm going to do. So this is one heck of a drill, and you either break a bit or break your wrist. So hopefully we break a bit, not my wrist. Alright, I'm through on that hole. Now I'm going to step it up to a different size. Now stepping these bits up, if somebody's not used to using a drill, if you don't try to go one big size out once, it'll cut a lot better. So you step up your bits a few sizes at a time. Now I'll go to the next size. This will be the last size. I tell you what, that drill will break your wrist if you don't watch. All right, let me go up top and repeat the process. All right, next size. All right, the last one. Now, give you a little tip. When you drill with a drill like this, don't put your hands in here, and never, see this turns that way, so it'll jerk the drill that way. Never, ever hold it from this side and put your hands in here, because what's going to happen is it's going to go whoosh, and it's going to snap your wrist. But if you come from this side and hold it like this, and then hold your hand here somewhere, when it does what it wants to do, it's going to jerk it out of your hand, and you can kind of let go of it. But don't ever put your hand in here and lock it, because it'll snap your wrist. Now, this is also a no-no. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take this off. Because what'll happen is, if you have your hand here and this thing comes around, if you happen to have your hand in between that, it's going to be bad. So you got to be careful. This ain't no baby drill. This thing here will hurt you. Probably help if I put it in the fork. All right. When you see yourself getting to the end of the hole, or when you see yourself starting to go through the hole, like all the way through, slow your drill down. That way you got more control over the drill. So you want to kick there. So just take it out of the hole, come into it, see it. Then it's got some power. Telling you guys, I think I'll break your wrist in a second. So now all I gotta do is take these pins, put them in the hole. Tighten them up. Now all I gotta do is take this bar out. And then we're gonna see if they're straight. I'd say it's pretty straight. Boy, that's really gonna help when I go to them food plots and Have to load my tractor and unload it. Pull these pins. The rod there. I ain't even got to pull that pin. I don't even know why I pulled that one. Oh yeah, I know. I was going to show you about that bar. Load it up. And I'll tell you something else too. These bars, all that is a stabilizer for a tractor. And it's got a little bit of a bend in it. So it kind of contours to this ramp where it's offset a little bit. So instead of having to cut a piece of metal and drill a hole in a really hard piece of metal, you just go to the store and buy you a stabilizer bar for a tractor. Well, I got a lot more I got to do this trailer. I'm not going to do it today. But I want to make a video and show y'all how I put these on here because I hadn't done that yet. And I want to show y'all how I was going to stabilize these. I don't have to worry about going down the road and something happening and one of these falling down, hitting somebody's vehicle, because they stick out a good little ways. They're 5 foot long. So if somebody's riding too close to your bumper or too close to your trailer with a little fancy car, and one of these things decide it wants to get frisky and come down, you could be paying for somebody's hood or fender, or, you know, hard to tell what'll come out of it, but now you won't have to worry about it. It's just simple. Like I said, these are pins. You get the pin, this pin, that pin, and this bar right in your tractor section at the store. And like I said, these are I think these are 1 inch. If I think right, I think they're 1 inch, and it's a 1/2 inch that goes through the ramp. The threads are 1/2 inch. So yeah, it's 1 inch. So if you want them, that's plenty. That'll do just fine. And like I said, it makes it really nice. Now I did want to show the measurements of everything. I want to show all the measurements down here because I didn't get to show them last time. So the overall width of my trailer is 6 foot 5 inches. Now the bar that I used this side's 32.5 inches. So a 35-inch bar will work. I wouldn't go no smaller than that because you won't be able to put your ramp over as far to the middle. So if you want to load like a lawnmower or something small, 0 turn. Actually, a 0 turn's right wide probably, but a little lawnmower or something, you won't be able to put it up on there. Or if you want to put something else up on there that, say you want to make mesh for these and you want to load stuff like appliances and you need to use a cart, you don't want these too far apart. So 35-inch piece of hard stock, round stock, and then you're going to need the tube. And see, I get stuff that's used. I don't buy no new stuff if I don't have to. Try to save money. But this bar is about 1 inch. About 1 3/4 inches. and it's got an 1/8 inch wall. It's got an 1/8 inch wall. You could go to a 1/4 if you wanted to. So I got one down here that's 3 inches. That one's 3 inches. This one is 11 inches. And this one is 2 3/4 inches long. And then here on the end, I cut off a 1/4 inch to weld on the end for a stop. Goes onto that bar. So that's the measurements of that. And then the angle iron that I used, that's also an 1/8 inch thick, and that is 30 3/4 long. So that's the measurements, and that's all you got to get. You got to double that and get the other side. But I welded this solid on this side and that side, and you seen in the last video how I welded them. If you don't have ramps and you want to know the measurements of the ramps, this is a piece of angle, and I think it's 2 by 1 3/4, and it's 14 inches long. And these are 14 inches long, and they're 2 by 2, and it's 6 of these on this. And the overall length of this ramp is 5 foot 60 inches. Now, to make this whole piece, they're 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 14. That's how long you need that piece. And then both of these are 60 inches long, 5 foot each, so that's 10 foot. Plus this, 10 foot, 14 inches is what your overall length of the side pieces and this top piece. Now I'm probably going to strengthen this up a little bit, and I'm going to put my license plate in here so I don't have to have it dangling underneath the trailer. So I'm going to either put it here or here. I don't know yet. But one of these places. But that gives you the dimensions, and if you want to make one of these, and like I said, it's 14 there, and this one's actually 14.5 wide, but that's perfect size. If you make it longer than that, it makes it weaker, so you can't put as heavy stuff on it unless you strengthen this up. So I wouldn't go no longer than this. 5 feet. I wouldn't go no longer than 5 feet with this material. And this ain't quite an 1/8. Yeah, this is just under 1/8 thick. So if you really want to make it sturdy, do 1/8, because these ramps are not heavy at all. And when you lift them up, I mean, you could definitely have a heavier one. But these are heavy enough for what I'm going to use. But that's the measurements, and if y'all want to duplicate this, that's what you're going to use. Okay, my big piece of angle that goes here on the back, that everything goes to, that's a little over 1/4 inch thick. This top side is 3.5 inches, and the bottom side is 5 inches. So it's 3.5 by 5 inches. And it's the length of the width of the trailer. So 76 3/4. But if you have somebody cut it for you, go a little longer. Add an extra inch on there. That way you got room to play with it. That's all I really got as far as the measurements on that. But I hope that helps. And I hope y'all liked the last 2 videos. And I think my next video, I think I'm going to work on the brakes. Try to get the brakes done on this thing. I'm pretty sure they work. If they don't, I have to buy new ones, but I don't want to do that if I don't have to. But my next video is probably going to be doing the brakes. Hooking up the brake box and the quick disconnect. And I'll probably be doing it on the next video. So I'm going to end this one. Time for me to go eat. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hey, like and subscribe, please. It helps. I don't get very many likes, and I don't get very many subscribers. Hopefully that'll change one day, but it is what it is. I still enjoy making them, and I hope y'all enjoy watching them. But this is Aaron, and I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go eat. Talk to y'all later.